Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, the music they kind of too loud. So, Sanjay, so Jeannie, how are you doing, my love? How are you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? Good to see you, my love. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome into the live. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit. Yeah, I think that is enough. Good morning, Sujini. How are you doing, my love? I'm not sure what time it is where you are at, but where I am at, it is morning. It is actually almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and 4 o'clock is usually my wake up time. So since I'm already up, may as well I just go on and do the morning's reading. Now we didn't do any morning reading yesterday, time and circumstances would not permit us to have done the reading yesterday. So today we are going to be starting the reading of the book of Isaiah. Now, for those of you who have been following me, you know that we are on a quest to read the Bible for ourselves from beginning to end. We have been reading from the book of Genesis all the way to now we are at the book of Isaiah. And boy, have we found some interesting characters and some interesting instructions, some interesting events, lots of interesting literature to be found in the Bible. And so I think that it would behoove all of us to read the Bible for ourselves at least once. And I know that a lot of you do not like to read. So I have decided that since I have taken on that journey, I will read it for us so that all of us can be aware of the contents of the Bible, because you know that we have so many of us claim to be Christians, but more than 98% of us have never actually read the Bible for ourselves. We only know bits and pieces, verse here, a verse there, but we really have not read the Bible and get an understanding of what it is saying and getting context from the events in the Bible. And it's very important for us to get context, because when we just grab the Bible and we read just one verse here, one verse there, it does us no good because we have no context. We don't know who was speaking, who spoke to who was the listener, what were the circumstances under which the words were spoken, and all of that. We just take one verse and run with it. No, we are not about that anymore. We want to read the entire book so we know when we pick it up again to read just one verse, we will remember who spoke those words in that verse, who they were talking to, and what were the circumstances surrounding the conversation. And that will help us to get context and to understand the Bible even more. And people might say, why do we need to understand the Bible? Well, imagine that the Bible is very influential in every single aspect of our lives. So imagine there is a book that is responsible for your birth, how you live, how you die, and how, if ever, you live in the afterlife. Yet you won't even spend the time to read this book. Well, we are changing that. So get your book Bible or your Google Bible and come along with us and let us read. We are on to the book of Isaiah. And let me tell you something, guys. The book of Isaiah is so intricate to our Bible study that we are not going to ever read more than two chapters. I want you all to get to understand what we are reading. I want you all to have something to chew on. So we are going to read only two chapters at a time. Okay, so if you are here, get your book Bible or your Google Bible and come along with me as we read the book of Proverbs, the book of Isaiah. And today we're going to be reading chapters 1 and chapter 2. The book of the prophet Isaiah, the vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Ezekiel, kings of Judah. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know my people, doth not know, my people doth not consider. Ha! Sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They have provoked the Holy One in Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. Now, who is he talking about? The children of Israel. The kingdom has been dismantled. People are gone about their business. They are marrying to quote unquote the enemies, the outsiders. They are living their lives outside of the precepts that were set for them by Moses. Those are the people they're talking about. Verse 5 said, why should he be stricken any more? He will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot, even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burnt with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate, as even thrown by strangers. And the daughters of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like Gomorrah. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, saith the Lord? I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks. or of lambs, or of he goats. So is it that the Lord is telling them that he is tired of all these sacrifices? Because remember, guys, the children of Israel, they had a sacrifice for just about everything. If they took two breaths when they should have taken three, they have a sacrifice for it. They have to go and make atonement using calves and sheep and goat and all these things. Now, here the Lord is telling them that he is tired of all these sacrifices. For them come, they claim to their sin, them do the sacrifice, them go home, them do the same sin again. What sense does that make? None. They go back and they do the same sin and then they come back again. Let us continue. Verse 12 says, when ye come to appear before me, who hath required this of your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of the assembly, I cannot away with it. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Let us read that again. We're going to read from verse 10. Hear the word of the Lord, ye rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our God, ye people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Said the Lord. I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks, or of lambs, or of he goats. When he come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand to tread my court? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. So you're hearing say what he cannot away with, he cannot do away with. You don't want no more goat and cow and all these things. But he says that he says is an abomination. He don't want no more of that. He said, when you come to appear before me, who hath required this at your hand to tread my courts? Bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. That means no bring no more incense. No bring no more no more animal to slaughter and sprinkle the blood. No, him no want that. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. So you hear the thing that he cannot do away with? Him cannot do away with the new moon or the Sabbaths or the calling of assemblies. That when you call everybody together for whatever reason, he says, I cannot away with. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. I wonder what right list they just say. Welcome into the live, guys. Oh, official one is me. What's up? How are you doing, my dear? Good to see you. Good to see you. And Sujini, how are you doing, my love? All right, let us continue. We are on to chapter 1 and verse 14. Your new moon and your appointed feasts, my heart hates. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. And when ye spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yea, when ye make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. So here, this is their God telling them that he no longer cares for these sacrifices, because all these people do is do the wrong sacrifice, do the wrong again, do the wrong sacrifice, do the wrong again. So it's just going round and round and round. There is no solution. to their wrongdoings. They are just doing the same thing over and over. Get a cow, do a sacrifice, and go back to do the same thing. Verse 16 said, "Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fatherless. Plead for the widow. Come now, and let us reason together, saith the Lord. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. You see, even in the Bible from those days, they associate everything white with being good. Why? I don't know. Verse 19 said, "If he be willing and obedient, he shall eat the good of the land. But if he refuse and rebel, he shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. How is the faithful city become an harlot? It was full of judgment, righteousness lodged in it. But now, murderers. Thy silver is become dross, thy wine mixed with water. Thy princes are rebellious, and companions of thieves. Every one loveth gifts, and follows after rewards. They judge not the fatherless, neither doth the cause of the widow come unto them. Therefore saith the Lord of hosts, the mighty one of Israel, Ha! I will ease me of mine adversaries, and avenge me of my enemies. And I will turn my hand upon thee, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin. And I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counselors as at the beginning. Afterwards thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Here God is promising the Jews that He will restore their city. He will restore their rule over Jerusalem. Because at this time, when this literature is written in the book of Isaiah, Jerusalem is still dismantled. The people have gone astray. They are no longer following the Judaic principles that were laid down for them by Moses. Them gone doing their own thing. There is no ruler over Jerusalem, no great ruler there. Everything is in shambles. So here the Lord is telling them that He will restore their city for them, and their city will have only righteousness and faithfulness. Verse 27 says, Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness, and the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. For they shall be ashamed of the oaks which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. For ye shall be as an oak whose leaf fadeth, and as a garden that hath no water. Verse 31, and this is the last verse of Isaiah chapter 1. And the strong shall be as tow, and the maker of it as a spark, and they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. Here ends the reading. Here ends the reading of Isaiah chapter 1. Now we are going to move on to Isaiah chapter 2. So come along with me, guys. If you are just coming into the live, if you are just coming into the live, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for coming. If you have not yet hit that like button, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget that we do not endorse any particular religion. We do not endorse any particular religion or any particular denomination here. What we are trying to do is to read the Bible for ourselves so that we can be aware of its contents than told, rather than be told what is in it. So let us move on to Isaiah chapter 2. Isaiah chapter 2 says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountains of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their words into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. So here, the Bible is actually predicting that in the last days there shall be no war. Because remember, the children of Israel really did a lot of fighting, a lot of slaughtering to acquire the land that they said was supposed to be the promised land. And all of this has left a lot of blood on their hands. And then you wonder why the kingdom just cannot reign. It's ill-gotten gains. They had to slaughter so many people. There had to be so much bloodletting for them to have this land. How are they going to be comfortable there? No wonder each time a mighty king rises up, he gets overthrown, he dies, and the whole city goes to ruins over and over. And here, even at this point in the Bible, they are bawling to their God to help them to reestablish the kingdom of Jerusalem. Let us continue. Verse 5 says, O house of Jacob, come ye, and let us walk in the light of the Lord. Therefore, thou hast forsaken thy people, the house of Jacob, because they be replenished from the east, and are soothsayers like the Philistines. And they please themselves in the children of strangers. They land also in Their land also is full of silver and gold, neither is there any end of their treasures. Their land is also full of horses, neither is there any end of their chariots. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their own hands, that which their own fingers have made. And the mean man bows down, and the great man humbles himself. Therefore, forgive them not. Verse 10 says, enter into the rock, and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty. The lofty looks of man shall be humbled, and the haughtiness of men shall be bowed down, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. For the day of the Lord of hosts shall be upon every one that is proud and lofty, and upon every one that is lifted up, and he shall be brought low, and upon all the cedars of Lebanon that are high and lifted up, and upon all the oaks of Bashan, and upon all the high mountains, and upon all the hills that are lifted up, and upon every tower, and upon every fenced wall, and upon all the ships of Tarshish, and upon all pleasant pictures, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of men shall be made low, and the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day. And the idols he shall utterly abolish, and they shall go into the holes of the rocks, and into the caves of the earth, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake trembling the earth, to shake terribly the earth. Verse 20 of chapter 2. In that day a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which they made one each for himself to worship, to the moles and to the bats, to go into the chiefs of the to go into the clefts of the rocks and into the tops of the ragged rocks, for fear of the Lord, and for the glory of his majesty, when he ariseth to shake terribly the earth. Verse 22, and this is the last verse of Isaiah chapter 2. And also, this is where the reading for today will end. Cause sees he from man, whose breath is in his nostrils. For wherein is he to be accounted for? Let's read that again. Sees he from man, whose breath is in his nostrils. For wherein is he to be accounted of? This is the end of the reading of Isaiah chapter 1 and 2. For those of you who are just coming into the live, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you have not hit the like button yet, now is a great time to do so. And I want you to join me again tomorrow morning at around this time, when we will continue the reading of the book of Isaiah. We will be reading the next 2 chapters. Now, for those of you who are concerned that I'm only reading 2 chapters, well, I don't want to just read the Bible. I want us to be able to understand what is being said. And if I chuck 6 chapters down your throat at once, chances are you won't even be able to chew. And it is with that mindset that I have decided that 2 chapters per day is well enough. All right. So I want to say thanks again to each and every one of you who came into the live. Those of you who came in just to listen and not say a word. Whatever role you played in the life today, I sincerely appreciate you. All right. And that's going to be it from me for right now, guys. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. Now, have yourselves a great day, everybody.